Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Cleveland Browns. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than with the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
I think when you watch him play, because you've heard all the different buzzwords about him being a warrior and what a battler he is, go back to the Rose Bowl game against Georgia his last year at Oklahoma. They got beat in, double overtime, a thriller. But he played despite the flu and still put up big-time numbers and almost rallied his team to a victory.
Yeah, big-time numbers. Also had a receiving touchdown in that game as well. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And the pursuit that time was absolutely top-notch. He was looking to try and turn upfield somewhere. Kept trying to find a place. Somewhere never showed up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Mayfield. Drops it off for Chubb. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. And trying to give a lift to this offense today will be the Duke, the former Cane, Duke Johnson.
Comes from a great tradition of runners at Miami of Florida. He's one of the best ones we've seen in recent years.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, Definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
The linebacker C.J. Mosley in on the stop. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and makes sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. And his guys. Take over at the 25-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play. They're holding to no gain.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's a first down run with Collins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First catch of the game for Crabtree. It's a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
They run with Collins. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Flacco looks to throw. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This is Collins on the handoff. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of the guy I played with way back when, and he told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A first carry now for Kenneth Dixon. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On second down, it's Dixon. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to fourth down.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 0-0 our score. We're back to Baltimore after this. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. And we'll see what the decision is here as they've got a 4th and 1 coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3's in.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by... And you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots, now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball. I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First down, Mayfield. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Mayfield on 4th down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
Mayfield, and he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. This will be caught at about the 5. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. From the gun, Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw, Mayfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Pass interference. Defense.
And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
They'll run for it with Hyde. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Carlos Hyde punching it in from a yard away. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight ahead power, and they got it done.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So... 13-play drive in total. And it was capped off by a Carlos Hyde touchdown run. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Collins. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Flacco. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The result, a first down, as the quick slant gets him 14. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs. 2nd down, Flacco now. A great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point. Up successful. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Flacco from the gun. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Four down. All right. Hey, check 24.
1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with a lead. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now Collins. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
Flacco here on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control Base underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the field goal there caps. What winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll get it out to midfield. Yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now Mayfield. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The Ravens on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Flacco. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the 4th. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They begin the drive with Johnson. So he got free at 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The Browns on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing, Mayfield. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road? And everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
To pass, Flacco. Crabtree with it over the middle. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. A first down pickup there, Flacco to Crabtree.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Flacco. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Flacco to throw again on second down. He's going to air one out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they've got a fourth down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Well, they did the part they had to do. Quick throw got the first down.
But that doesn't allow them to relax. They still have plenty of work to do.
Well, look to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Brian Bonnie Calhoun. He was looking for Crabtree that time.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the two-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
Here's Mayfield, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Mayfield. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Carr on the coverage there.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what a effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Now Joe Flacco and the offense heading back out onto the field. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love.
You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs, the mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts, move the ball downfield, and get your team in position to win the game.
A field goal, of course, no good. They need a score. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Back to throw. That's complete. It's Collins. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a second down. He's back to throw. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down. One last gasp for Flacco, and that is incomplete. Well, no doubt an electrifying finish to have it down inside the 10-yard line. That final shot, though, they couldn't get it in the end zone, and that's all she wrote.
And they had the final shot. The last snap taken that close to the end zone. They don't get it in, so they'll regret that. But flip it over, making a stand in that portion of the field, congratulations to them.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.